Sego, and welcome back to Holistic Wellness with Michelle, my friends. Thank you for tuning into our little video today. Now, several years back in 2017, I took the Seignez Indigenous Cultural Safety Training Program. And amongst the vast quantity of education and knowledge and wisdom that course provided, there's a really important fact that I'm going to share right now because I want you to really start thinking about the concepts of colonization and reconciliation and what these pieces actually mean in our country today. The course shared that from the very top to the very bottom of the land we now know as the Americas, prior to Columbus landing, there was an estimated 100 million Indigenous people. Fast forward that 5 centuries to the time of my training in 2017, and there was an estimated only 10 million Indigenous people. Now think about that. Colonization brought war, famine, disease, treaty violations, reservations, the Indian Act, residential schools, the 60s scoop. Colonization's purpose was to strip and break Indigenous identity and Indigenous culture. These effects we can still see rippling today in the present moment in our and across our country. Now, one of the aims or the goals of this channel is eventually to kind of dig into and unpack all of these incredible eye-opening truths of our country, but not today. This is the month of September, and so today I thought it's poignant and powerful that today's video honor and carry on the legacy of Orange Shirt Day. But first, before we get started into that, here's a few definitions and a little bit of history. Colonization refers to both the formal and informal methods, behavioral, ideological, institutional, political, and economical, that maintain the subjugation and or exploitation of Indigenous peoples, lands, and resources. Decolonization is the meaningful and active resistance to the forces of colonization that perpetuate the subjugation and or exploitation of our minds, bodies, and lands. Decolonization is engaged in the ultimate purpose of overturning the colonial structure and realizing Indigenous liberation. First and foremost, decolonization must occur in our own minds. Orange Shirt Day started in May of 2013. Its purpose and its legacies are to acknowledge and commemorate the residential school experiences, for us to humbly bear witness and deeply honor the voices of survivors, their families, and the healing journeys that they're on. It's a day to call all of us together to start talking about and making a commitment to reconciliation. The orange shirt is a symbol. It's a symbol brought to us by former residential school student Phyllis Jack Webstad, and her experience, her story about her orange shirt that she wore on her first day of residential school at the age of 6. Now, if you want to read more about Phyllis's story and the story of the creation of Orange Shirt Day in an honorable, humble way, I will post those links below in the description section and really encourage you to go take a look. September 30th encourages all of us Canadians to come together and start building meaningful bridges of conversation and start talking about the tough stuff. What are the legacies of residential school? The anti-bullying, anti-racism, and what it means to not just talk about reconciliation, but to engage in action. And there are some great websites out there starting to call it reconciliation. Because through our actions, we reaffirm to survivors and their families that every child matters, that they mattered then, they matter now, future generations of children down the road will matter. And those who did not survive matter. It's a day for us to be humble and courageous and respectful and truthful. It's a day that we come from spirit. We come from who we are. And to kind of refresh points I've made in other videos, to maybe stop and think about and start embracing original teachings, which are that as a spirit being, as spirit beings, we are all brothers and sisters in this incredible vast web of life. And as such, we carry an inherent responsibility to take care of each other in a good way. As I sit in front of this camera today talking with you, I am cognizant about what it means for me to be wearing this shirt. To wear an orange shirt for me means that I am honoring residential school survivors, their families, their journeys, and those that didn't survive. I wear it to honor the Haudenosaunee people that I come from. As I wear it, I'm reminded of the importance of the teachings, the lessons that come to us from the 7 grandfather teachings. Humility, honor, courage, respect, wisdom, truth, and love. I wear it as a beacon for change. I wear it to remind myself in this moment that decolonization starts in my own mind first. And I wear it to challenge you and ask you, what are you doing to create reconciliation in action? What are you doing to move towards change in the best way you can? And that brings us to our exercise for today. What are you doing this September 30th to be part of reconciliation in action? How can you honor Indigenous people? How can you honor the thousands of children who have been found across Canada in grave sites at residential school locations? How can you honor the resilience, tenacity, and strength of a people who refuse to let go of who we are? How can you take action to build that bridge, honor and engage in reconciliation, and honor yourself as you do so? There are so many ways that you can contribute to Orange Shirt Day, like attending a powwow. They will run through till early October. 2 videos ago on my Six Nation powwow reflection, I posted a few online links. Maybe go back there, check some out, and find a powwow near you and get out and attend. Maybe download, read up on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada's calls to action. Pick one of these 94 calls. Maybe sit down with family, sit down with friends, dissect the call and figure out how can you contribute to that call of action and create change. Maybe check out things like the Legacy Schools Reconciliation Guide, which is brought to us by the Gord Downey Cheney Wenjet Fund. In here, there are snippets of the history, the legacies of residential school, as well as programs and ways that school-age children, as well as you, can contribute to reconciliation. Attend a community event. I am super excited this year because what I'm really seeing when I check out community events is that events are happening all week long. And in fact, I've even heard the term Orange Shirt Week. Events in the Durham region just outside of Toronto. Events are starting on the Monday, which is September 26th, and they're running through the course of the whole week to the 30th and past the 30th, the Saturday. Educate yourself. There are some great books out there about the legacies of residential schools, colonization, that are written or informed by Indigenous knowledge and peoples. It is not Indigenous peoples' responsibility to educate you about their history and the history of this country. If we go back a few moments ago when I said that as brothers and sisters, it is our responsibility to take care of each other, that also includes that it's our responsibility to read and educate ourselves about the history of this country. There are some phenomenal books out there. I'm going to post some links to them below, and I'm going to encourage you to start checking some of those out. As we move through reconciliation, what we become through these processes is we become a people that we become a people who are effective, holistically effective. We become these elemental forces for change. We become part of the winds of change that are sweeping across our nation. Me, what am I doing? I'm posting this video next weekend. I'll be posting this video on the 17th of September. So that's part of what I'm doing. I myself have read the Truth and Reconciliation Calls to Actions in my work environment as well as the education environment. I'm working on some calls to actions myself. I have just finished reading this phenomenal book, 21 Things You Might Not Know About the Indian Act. At the back of that, by the way, in the appendix is a copy of the calls to action. You can probably see the books behind me. I try to regularly read and educate myself about the history of our country. I just got this fantastic book a couple weeks back, and I'm really itching to read it, but I'm in the midst of, again, just finished reading this book, so I'm in the midst of a bit of a change in, I've got one more book I gotta finish, and then I'll get at this one, so really looking forward to that. Please remember that as you work through reconciliation, reconciliation, and you start to open yourself up and expose yourself to our dark history, to what it means to change, to what it means to carry and honor the legacy of our country. Please remember to be compassionate, to be loving and kind to yourself and to others as you do so. But be an advocate. Be an advocate for healthy, courageous change. If you liked our video today, please give us that thumbs up. Subscribe, turn on your notifications, and please share this video with your family, share it with your friends, repost it on other media sites. Encourage others to reconciliation and reconciliation. As always, all the material I've shared with today and the material I haven't shown on the screen, which is, I've got a lot of material for today. I will post every single piece in the description box below, and so that you're not having to go search for all this information. You'll have it at your fingertips, and check that out. And please, please, please leave a comment in the comment section below. After our video today, I'm really encouraged to see, I'm kind of excited to see what you're going to do on or around September 30th to carry on the legacy of Orange Shirt Day. Please remember that one person, one mindfully and explored shared piece of knowledge, orange shirt knowledge, does have the power and the ability to change a person's perspective and quality of life for the better. Niao yo, and thank you so much for tuning into this video today. I really hope that something resonated and sparked within you, and you are going to get into action. May you go in a good, healthy, orange shirt way.